I would stay in her house as the daughter to get access to the closet.
Well, she does make that a point when she argues with Lisa in an episode of.
It is so cute. Welcome to Overanalyze with Dom and Kyla.
Hi, friends.
This episode almost didn't happen. We record for 3 hours and we talk for the first like 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then we start recording, which is a sign of a good friendship. All right, so today we're talking about Real Housewives
of Salt Lake City.
I know.
Season 6, episode 2.
There you go. Yes.
And this is a reminder, Kyla is not a Housewives aficionado like myself.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to get her to watch Potomac, too. No, that's
absolutely.
I think it's very different.
Yeah.
I think you like Potomac, but our Salt Lake City girls are already delivering.
Yes. So I have a couple off-the-cuff hot takes before you go through yours.
Okay, go for it. I love a hot take.
Is everyone on the show Mormon? Is that the basis?
The only one now that's active is Lisa, but she calls herself Mormon 2.0 because you can't drink.
Brittany.
Oh, she's.
And then Bronwyn mentions that she was
used
Mormon.
To be. Heather used to be she comes from like Mormon royalty, like her lineage, and Whitney was a former Mormon. Her
so they're
too.
Preachers' kids, technically.
Like Mormonism is very interesting and like how it works. Of like, I forgot what they're called.
I say that because
bishops and all this kind of stuff. Yeah,
Katy Perry is a preacher's kid, and PKs are usually the ones that like are known to rebel.
Yeah,
because they're.
Whitney was the first out of her like family because she cheated on her husband or something, or had like an affair. So her current husband, they were both previously married in Mormons, and there's like a whole thing when you leave the church. It's not a simple thing. You have to like sign some big document. That was actually a theme of a few seasons ago. Once you sign, basically there's like a document you sign, like. Nope, I'm out. Like I am no longer associated with the Mormon Church.
Wow.
So I think Brittany and then Lisa's Mormon 2.0 because she owns a tequila brand and like she shows cleavage and stuff. And if you look at Mormons, you have to cover up your skin.
Yeah.
Apparently she's still active Mormon. So God bless.
So if you looked at old pictures of me, you would laugh because I grew up really.
But you're like a Bible thumper.
Really religious. I was definitely a Bible thumper. I mean, like skirts to my ankles. We weren't like the. So Seventh-day Adventist or like
Gilmore Girls.
But I would cover it up, and my mom has always told me like legs out, boobs out. Like it was always like wear long like a jacket with shorts or wear tank top with pants. Like it was always one or the other.
Oh, interesting.
We need to watch the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders show. This is the 2nd season, and I mentioned this because I almost wrote one of the dancers from last season because she was a big Bible thumper, and I was like, it took me years to realize you could dance, and that doesn't mean you're a sexualized person or a sexualized being because it was always equated as the two. And I was just like, I love that she knows that at 20 years old because it took me.
She's still a Bible thumper.
She was a virgin when she got married last year. It was cute.
Religion is so weird.
So weird. It's so restricting.
I mean, God bless, but no pun intended.
Ties into the Mormonism though. The other one was. What's with the testimonials? Are they supposed to be bashing the other people?
You mean their confessionals?
Oh, okay. Confessionals.
No, I want to make sure because
Bronwyn goes to lunch.
I'm like, I think of the Catholic Church.
Oh no! So I'm like, Bronwyn goes to lunch with Heather, and then they show a clip of Bronwyn. Like that's what I was trying to say. And I'm like,
Housewives fans, we cannot wait for like confessional looks. Like that's like a whole thing of like their looks and their. So I mean, they're kind of meant to narrate / be shady.
But they are obviously not recorded at the same time as the show.
They film after the season's been shot. So they go back. And in fact, I'm going to imagine as their season, because the season's just premiering, they're going to go back as the episodes air, and they're probably still doing confessionals now.
Oh, wow.
For the later episodes that they're editing.
And that's why their hair can look different in the confessional.
Yeah, because and I'd be curious if you were going to be able to spot it. But sometimes they'll shoot a confessional and like, we got to redo that. And like 3 weeks later. So you have to somehow find that same exact outfit, try to get your hair to match your exact look. And you can almost spot like her eyebrows look different or something. Ooh. So it's really interesting. But it's supposed to be kind of shady narrative, like how they feel in the moment.
Yeah.
What's happening is there's a producer that's on the other side asking them questions. So their sound bites are in response to things that they're prompting them to.
Okay.
But what I love now is in recent years, breaking up the fourth wall. Because sometimes, depending on what it is, you can hear the producer going, did you know she said that? And they say something. So now they're doing a little bit of that, which I love. But I live for a confessional moment.
Okay. And it's not a testimonial.
No. I know. I was like, I think she means.
And I literally wrote in my notes, newbie.
I think that's so cute.
Okay. All right. Now you're running the show.
Okay. So let's get into the episode. Yeah. And you're just going to interject wherever. Because I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
I'm going to overanalyze.
Just going to overanalyze. So we start off the episode. It picks up right after they're ghost hunting and they're still camping, our other girls, minus Lisa. This was really funny when they're in the RV and they wake up and Meredith, what did she say?
I'm not pushing an RV.
Well, even before that, about like, is there an espresso machine or a frother or something? I'm like, girl. Okay, here's the thing. They made steak, and I'm like, you ate bagels last night. Why didn't you flip flop them? Why wouldn't you eat bagels? Do you know what? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And I'm shocked that Mary even ate that steak because she's kind of bougie. So I'm like, you really ate that steak, girl? I thought that was all weird. Heather opens up about, I thought it was actually, I loved seeing that because I think that was a very real moment for her about her looking forward to sending off her last daughter to college.
So listen, we did not choose this series specifically because I'm a parent, but it's all about parenting. I'm kind of enjoying it because I have some friends that are single parents and they do talk about how difficult it is. And you and I talk often about how I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I have someone else there. And like, I can roll my eyes with my husband at our daughter. Like, you just need someone else there to be like, what the heck is going on? But also, this is 2025. A couple years ago, there was this big push for gentle parenting.
Yes.
But then there was the opposite. You can only gentle parent a gentle child. Kids are different.
And they're own individuals.
I have 5 siblings, and we all got different versions of our parents based on what they were doing and how busy they were and whatever. So, like, there will definitely be a time where you're like, these people are adults. I am no longer responsible for them. I'm responsible to them. I am not responsible for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think that it meant that she didn't enjoy parenting.
Right.
I do think that Bronwyn took it in a weird way to be like, no, I love my kid being around, because he also proved the point by saying, I don't know who I am if I'm not her mom. But you're still her mom when she doesn't live with you.
I thought that was an interesting take. So what she's talking about is Bronwyn shares how she's unprepared for her daughter's departure. And I thought that was really interesting to your point of the two polar opposite, though they're in the same boat in a way of like going through the same task, if you will. And I thought hers, and I don't think whatever she said to Heather was, I think Heather took it the wrong way. I also don't think maybe Bronwyn explained herself clear of how she emotionally felt. Though I think that's a very interesting dichotomy too, because as a non-parent, but as a human being, of how she didn't feel like, who am I without, because I feel like I've heard that from especially single parents specifically. I feel like I've heard that as a theme of when my kid is gone, who am I when my whole like world revolved around them?
And you can't say that it's sad or good or whatever. One of my favorite movies about parenting is Spanglish. And she says, like, you lived your life for your kids. I live mine for myself. Neither is correct. Because, like, I can think that I am an awesome parent and we give our daughter balance and all this, and she could grow up and be like, those bitches just gave me stuff. You that is kind of the bet. You really don't know. And so, like, I do think that Heather was defensive, but most parents get defensive. Like,
I think that's
this
natural.
Is a 24-hour a day job. Like, literally, I'll get hungry and I'll wonder if my kid is hungry and she's not with me. She probably was defensive, but you do become defensive as a parent. But then also, like, do you know what you have to leave a hospital after you have a baby?
No, like a home.
No, you have to have a car seat.
Oh yeah, because sometimes don't they give them to you?
A car seat. Where's the training? Even Lamaze is how to deliver the baby.
None of that's random.
Nobody
kind of
says
random.
like
of all the things.
There's
like, I don't have a
books
car.
that are people's opinions, but that's it.
Interesting. I didn't know
so that. It is very much like dog eat dog.
You know, my mom, and she had my brother.
Yeah.
She left hours after she gave birth.
Really?
Because they didn't have health insurance. They couldn't afford it. She loves telling this fucking story. If I have to hear it one more time. It is kind of interesting. They went to a Chinese restaurant and they asked her, you have a newborn baby. How old are they? She said 9 hours.
Wow. Your mom's badass. I love it.
I mean, I think about it. I'm like, damn.
My mom.
Can it get sick?
Well, by then it's still on all of her food. But Maddie asked me the other day, she was like, why do I have a belly button? And I was like,
damn, she asked good questions, man.
No, I didn't say feed you. I said, that's how you used to receive food. And she goes, what do you mean? Like an alien?
She's thinking about it.
But no, my mom had my little brother at home. It was like the only birth she had. Really? But it was like her 5th delivery and the baby was ready. And like, so she had it at the house. Thankfully, my dad was like a military vet. But then like the paramedics came and made sure everything was fine. But
and
like
they made us leave.
Her last kid. I was like, was that why it was your last? Were you scarred?
She had like no medicine or anything.
But also I think her body was like primed for it by then.
I guess. Damn.
But all that to say,
I don't know if you wrote this on like as part of your research. Do you think she really did? So Heather left with that conversation, just to put a pin on it. She felt very judged by Bronwyn. I know you kind of answered it in a sense of being defensive as just a parent. And maybe because I'm not a parent, I watch it as someone going, girl, I'm going through something similar. I don't feel that way because I'm going through my own stuff.
Yeah.
And I was hoping for a moment of like, oh man, and she didn't get that.
But we get it later when they go to lunch.
Yes.
So the reason why I didn't feel like Bronwyn was away and I didn't feel like Heather was away either, the audio editor, media owner in me was like, for all we know, Mary spoke up and somebody else spoke up and they only showed that. So I just was like, that's what the editors chose to show.
It's a very interesting
I didn't actually have any opinion about it.
Okay.
I don't think that Bronwyn was trying to one up her. Like,
I don't think so.
I love my kids so much. But also I just was like, that was strategic editing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I'm sure there's more conversations.
That is an interesting thing with you being a connoisseur, me being a newbie. I do kind of have.
You look at it as a editor's.
I think I do. I'm like
a producer lens.
Versus, I'm like they're at work right now.
Yeah, and I'm like, because you should see. I'm very like I'm talking. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I'm actually talking to them. Okay. So now you get to meet Lisa. So it goes into.
She is gorgeous. I don't know if it's that she's the. I was gonna say the only one with dark hair, and I wrote that down. But Bronwyn has dark hair. And
Meredith.
But Lisa's is so drastically dark.
And then she has this. She's had that fucking hairstyle forever.
It's beautiful.
The pinch straight.
My first time seeing Lisa was on the last clip. I put GIF in the video.
Yeah.
And because I put her into Giphy, and there was tons of clips.
Oh, she's very giftable.
So I liked her. I didn't have an issue.
People love she's one of those housewives that people just stand the hell out of her.
I don't like some of the stuff she said later.
We'll get to that because I don't either.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, here's my thing. I'm here having lunch with you, Heather. You're telling me all this shit. People, what did you say? And Lisa asked me that, and I was like,
I've seen this a lot on the internet, and it makes me laugh now. When Heather walks in, the woman that was sitting at the table, and she was like looking her up and down.
Yeah,
I thought that died laughing.
I was laughing, and I was going to ask you if you noticed that, but also she had on shorts.
Yeah,
and so I was like,
and that's not really Heather's normal style. I think that's also I'm like, girl, what are you wearing?
Yeah,
to like this basic ass restaurant.
But I mean, I thought it was funny that we could still see it because I'm sure they had a different angle. Whenever you see those shows and people are staring, it's not so much the people, it's the camera crew that's with them too. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like 5 people walking down the street. You know what I mean?
It's a production for sure.
So I thought that was funny though.
So they have lunch and Lisa is blindsided to hear how much the group talked about her in her absence. And she's especially upset with, shocker, Bronwyn.
But also Angie. She's like, I thought Angie and I were good.
And they have history.
Okay.
They have a longer history. And you do see that.
Are they both OGs? They've been on all 5 seasons?
Not Angie. Angie came in season 3 as a friend and became promoted to full-time at season 4. Lisa's an OG. And they obviously go into a tiny bit at that ending party. And she's like, well, I've known her long. I have more history with her. Here's the thing. As somebody that watches show forever, I used to love Heather Gay. But I'm going to tell you, to give you context, they actually used to be adversaries, Heather and Lisa. They had a very tumultuous relationship.
I mean, they didn't look like friends. They just looked like...
Well, Heather, I'm like, I don't know why she's up her... But that's what I mean. I'm like, you don't... Shut up. I just want to say, no offense, because I do like Heather. But I'm like, I just want to tell her, be quiet. Yes, you were talked about. But like, it wasn't just Bronwyn, Angie. Everyone kind of... Whitney, they all got into it. And this whole lawsuit thing, I guess she has several, like 15, and some of them are old. But I'm like, they are there, and you can't. And you're a lawyer by trade, like you can't. If it's posted in the fucking newspaper, and isn't most of that like public information? Yeah. So it's like, girl.
I mean, you should be proud. Somebody else is paying your credit card bills. That's awesome.
And I mean, she kind of said it. What did she? Her line was, "You don't oversue the bottom, bitch."
I know.
And I was like,
the one on top.
I mean, I'll give her that. I'm like, sure. But I never find her tequila anywhere, mind you.
Well, here's the thing with a lawsuit. If you and I cannot resolve our issue, you go to court because you just need a third party.
Yeah.
So that could be for anything. So it's not a negative thing that someone sues you. Right. You're trying to find clarity.
And to her
bringing
point,
in a third person.
I have heard this in other like podcast interviews and just in the ether that when you own a business, and especially if it becomes successful, it's not uncommon just for people to like
Cardi B.
Especially if you are especially if you're in the limelight or have a reality show that's really popular. Like it's not like it's so. I didn't take it that way. Like, okay, you have lawsuits against you. Ooh, you did something bad. Right. However, don't deny it like it's nothing when you have several. Her husband wasn't supposed to know about the credit card payments. And I'm like, girl, you can't hide those little details.
But that comes with its own like level of betrayal, which
sure.
I'm sure part of the reason why she doesn't want to talk about it with the girls is like, we're dealing with this on our own. Let us.
I think she's lying.
It's really hard to be sued.
Well, I think,
and by hard, I mean like difficult.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like people going through, like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna show a screenshot of a text message, but all of your messages, somebody reading, that is hard.
And I'm sure, like, I can imagine that being a very like invasive feeling, like, but if you're being sued, I have to imagine, like, well, you got to do what you got to do. You have to show all your receipts.
I know.
And then Lisa reminds Heather of her. I did not like this. Reminds her of her stature in the group, claiming she operates on another level. And you know what?
As a newbie, I was like, okay.
And as an OG, I was on Heather. I'm like, you ain't different than us, girl.
She said it with her full chest, so I was laughing. But then
I guess I can appreciate.
Excuse me, we are exactly the same.
If you live in delusion, I suppose I can appreciate that because she really believes it.
Yeah.
But I was with Heather. I'm like, she's like, girl, you are no different. I'm like, you still live in Salt Lake City, Utah. Like, you're not like, chill the fuck out.
So.
And she also converted to Mormonism. I just thought about that.
Lisa did?
Yeah. She's not natural born.
Yeah.
She's
natural
Jewish.
born? Oh,
well, like born into it, like any other religion, like
like your parents were.
Yes, like that. Yeah.
So we didn't talk about this, but earlier in the clip, Heather couldn't spit, and she said, "I've had too much Botox." And so from that
clearly
to Lisa telling her you're not one of the OGs, I was just like, oh, like have you changed so much physically and like personality-wise that you're not an original?
That was Heather season 1.
Okay, so I think her face is the same. She's probably 25 pounds larger. Was she married season 1?
No.
Okay.
She was divorced. And I will say this, obviously this is not about like her weight, because she has been open and honest about like her weight struggles and things like that.
So no wonder she had the shorts on.
Like,
I'll be honest though, Lisa has the best surgeon. If all of them are not going to Lisa,
Lisa's very pretty.
Because Lisa looks great. And she looks
like
natural.
Not fake,
She looks like I'm allowed to be older,
like not,
but
like
I
overly,
still...
To your point, it has probably a really good surgeon that follows that line of like natural really yet like refreshed.
She looks really good. And I mean, looking at these older pictures, and we'll put these up on the screen, Heather was still beautiful, and she still had those striking cheekbones. Because right now,
I think Heather's very pretty.
Her cheekbones are giving skeleton.
Yeah,
but she still had them. She had them before, so that's just her face structure.
Well, yeah, you just saw that picture. I think she has her face shape through after the Jen Shah stuff. I think Heather, and I think they still kind of push her. I mean, the network maybe necessarily. I don't know this for fact, so allegedly. I think they've been putting her as like almost like the face of Real Housewives of Salt Lake. Like she was definitely, you can tell Jen Shah was a huge personality. Like, okay, this is the standout of the breakout star, so to speak. You take her out, it's clearly Heather. She's often in the center. She's pretty outspoken. She is funny. She has her moments, but I'm not telling you, and I love Heather Gay, but like she's starting to become insufferable to a certain extent with me. I'm like, get out of Lisa's ass. That's why I appreciated that comment. Yeah. I'm like, tell her that she's just like you, bitch. Like, no.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I didn't care too much about this. I thought it was interesting. So Bronwyn and Whitney Bronwyn is skiing. Whitney snowboards,
which is one thing I've been waiting for. I was like, Salt Lake City.
I was gonna say, I was listening to another podcast and I laughed because I said the same thing. Like, this is not a season without Real Housewives, without some skiing scene.
Winter's my favorite.
I was gonna say, but how can you not? Though they always shoot in the winter, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I hope they switch it up at some point and like shoot in the summer. Because I bet Salt Lake City is beautiful in the summer.
I'm sure they're like laking and on a boat somewhere.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I think the big thing out of that is Bronwyn reveals alleged claims that Lisa replied to a debt notice with a palm face emoji and, in quotes, overwhelmed, and that she may have tried to keep her husband John out of the loop. And the conversation turns tense, laying bare how Bronwyn has been tracking this. So
Bronwyn with Heather having lunch. Oh, no, this is at the ski trip that she mentioned it. Who was she talking to?
That's Whitney. That's Heather's cousin.
I remember this because Whitney talks about business.
Yes.
And then I see a clip of her husband for the first time, and I'm like, I remember the good old days when men used to age better than women.
Yeah.
His face doesn't look old. It's mostly the gray hair.
He hasn't really aged.
But then also, I respect that he didn't dye it, because you can do that and then you look too artificial.
He seems like a decent guy.
But for my second time meeting Whitney, I did not picture that as her husband. And I don't, is he older than her, or is it okay? And so I just was kind of like,
They had an affair with each other, and that's why they got kind of kicked out of the church. And now they're like, I've heard rumblings.
That's kind of cute. Can't keep my hands off you.
They seem like they've always been like, there was like a scene a few seasons ago where they painted with like their clothes off and stuff. So it's kind of, she loves stripper poles and this kind of, that's like, but I've heard random rumblings that he might be filing for divorce or something. There might be like something there because it's just a weird shit. I ran a line.
How you lose them?
She stated on the season how they have no more money. I don't think it's specified at all in these episodes yet, but he got fired from his job because of the show and what she's displaying on there. So he had like a 9 to 5 for the first few seasons, and then he got fired because of the show.
So Whitney's been on all 6 seasons.
Yeah, she's an OG. Yep.
So this is fascinating because you and I just talk on our own about how like the show can impact your life outside and it can impact your brand, but also how marriage is a business.
Yeah,
if you got no money,
especially if you're on reality TV,
it's a lot harder to.
I guess you have to. Yeah,
we don't have any money.
And if you're spending my money to invest in my business and it fails, like how do you? We talked about it. I'm weird with money. Like that enters a whole nother game.
That's complicated.
I don't know how that works. Then the next scene, I thought this was really sweet, is Mary and checking in with her.
I love that scene. Okay, so
I did too.
I'm watching. I have tears in my eyes because Mary didn't say a lot, but she didn't need to because like
she's listening. Yeah,
she needed to listen to her son. And so, do you remember what was he addicted to?
Marijuana.
Okay,
and I think other substances. I don't think it wasn't alcohol. I think it was all like drugs.
Okay, so I remember you told me that he had an addiction and it was a big part of a prior season. And so when he mentions weed, well, first of all, they did such a good job with the editing because they allow for all those awkward pauses where she is just watching him and listening and they're not interjecting. And it had to have been so hard for them to record, but he mentions that it was weed. And I was just like, oh no, because weed is the gateway. So I wasn't sure if that was what he was addicted to or not, or if she was like, oh, if you start with this, you're going to tumble into the others. But like, how mature is he? And he's like, I still think about it every day. First of all, it's so hard to be alive. And if you find something that helps you get through, but then it also could possibly be illegal or it can impact other parts of your life. And it doesn't fit in with the levity of the show, but it's also so honest. And I think it was an interesting counterpoint to like Heather saying, oh, my girls are traveling and this one's almost done with school. And Bronwyn's like, I'm moving mine in. It's all the same love. Yeah. It's just different. And he gets to be there and like talk to her and she's listening. Yeah. I loved it.
What he said, that the big standout to me that really got me was how he said he's not in that same dark place, but he went to rehab. You come back. And I guess I never thought, I mean, I've never experienced something like this before, but it's something that, in society, what we know about that process, you just think like, okay, someone has issues with alcohol or drugs. They go to rehab, they come back and now it's over. Right. Or they relapse, right? It's one extreme or the other. You don't think about that middle part. It's like, okay, that was such a big part of your life and you come back and that process of reacclimating to normal life without something that was a big part of it. When he said that, I was like, man, that's going to get a lot of people hopefully to think about. When I was last in this home, I was addicted to drugs, and now I'm coming back, and it's like, how does that not trigger you?
Because that's just it. It was a big part of his life, but also he may have liked who he was when he was high.
Or how he felt,
like,
or whatever.
What if every evening as I'm relaxing, I do this, and so now the evening still comes, and I don't have that. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's like you cut your arm off and now, I have to learn how to live without my arm. But like now I don't have the rehab and all the people. I'm in a literally different center. Yeah. So I can not think about it. And now I'm back here and it's like, but that's what I do here. And I can't, it's difficult.
I like that he was open with her and said, I smoked a little weed today.
You know what'll be ironic? Well, maybe not ironic, but in the show, she will probably end up encouraging him to get his own place so that he doesn't still have the memories of coming home and feeling like this is where I get high.
I'd be curious where that goes because Mary has done a few interviews since then and I guess he's not doing great. She keeps saying the answer is he's doing the best that he can.
I love that answer.
Yeah. But I think there was allegations in news reports recently that he got arrested for domestic violence. And so I don't know, I'm not going to speculate what's true, what's not true, or what's going on with that. I wish him all the best because that is a difficult road. And I really appreciate Mary being receptive instead of, not she's a very religious woman. She could have easily been I don't know you, get the fuck out. And she's not, she's trying to be a mom and do the best that she can for her kid. And I think that is so admirable.
It goes to the wildness of being a parent.
Yeah.
Because you still look at them and you absolutely love them. And you also want to take everything away that could possibly hurt them without being a helicopter parent and all of that stuff. But then it's also like, you're responsible to them, not for them now. And so even with that answer, if he's an adult, she's like, I'm not going to speak for him.
Yeah. Well, and she kind of says that. She said, like, you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved.
I know.
So you kind of almost have to let them figure it out. And I'm like, damn, that must be so hard as a parent to say that. Like, I can't save them until he wants to save himself, and I have to let him kind of figure out his path forward. And I'm like, damn, I'm a human, and that hurts.
Be the safe space if he does want to talk about it as well.
And then has moments like that where she's like, "Yep, talk to me." Babe.
And the thing is, neither is correct, right? Bronwyn having her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend move in is no better or worse. It's the way that they're parenting.
Right. No judgment.
So,
which that leads into the next scene with Bronwyn and Heather have lunch. Bronwyn and Heather are both wanting to smooth things out. Bronwyn notes that she was supportive when Heather expressed her own feelings, and Heather says Bronwyn's word salad style of talking in public annoys her. Bronwyn is simultaneously frustrated with that Heather remains close to Lisa, and Heather directly asks if they can be friends, and Bronwyn agrees. And I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're ever really gonna. I can't see it. Not yet, at least.
I did that 20-something years ago. My best friend who lives in Florida. We were at Ohio State orientation. I sit down next to her. I go, we're gonna be friends. And she's from Cleveland, and she looks at me like, and turns to her mom like, what the fuck is this? And so we're still good friends.
We didn't know her before then.
No.
Yeah, so they have a tumultuous relationship.
So I don't know if you can tell someone we're going to be friends, because that's not how it works.
I know. Well, especially when you've had ups and downs already, and you've only known this person like a year.
But you missed the best part. Bronwyn's outfit, that jacket and that skirt.
I love
Bronwyn.
Like,
can I have your closet? I would stay in her house as the daughter to get access to the closet.
Well, she does make that a point when she argues with Lisa in an episode of.
It is so cute. It's so cute. Okay, so I thought they were funny. I thought that they're like, okay, let's both get a drink so we can relax.
I forgot what Bronwyn said. She was saying something to Heather, and she's like, I feel like you don't really hear me, or it makes me feel like you don't really like me. And they zoom in on Heather's face, and she goes. She makes one of those like eye twitches. I'm like, girl, you did not have to be. Just listen to her. I think this is where, like, when I'm much of a Bronwyn fan, I'm like, you are not giving her enough grace, and it's really like kind of ticking me off. Now. Because I think how it's being perceived is that you are so up Lisa's ass that I agree with Bronwyn to some extent. I'm like, I think it is shielding her for Heather specifically.
And she says that. She says like it's clouding the way you see it.
Exactly, and I agree. I think it really is.
But that takes me to my favorite part of the show. When they're at Amy's party.
I don't know who this Amy is.
I had to make a note. I was like, is this one of the socialites we talked about where you were like, some people are so old money they don't want to be on the show?
It's actually really funny because obviously that's not planned. And I was like, who the fuck is Amy? And how interesting it is that they're like, we're going to go to Amy's house and film, but we don't know who the fuck Amy is.
Well, they did give her the intro, tiny intro.
They did.
And then.
And her little title, yeah.
There's so much. Okay, so I was going to name this episode Glory Hole of Champagne. That wall they have with the hands that come out with the champagne.
I'm like, I want to have one of those.
So I'm not going to call it that because they'll probably flag us and won't share the episode a lot.
Let's not do that.
But also, beautiful house.
Beautiful house.
And then we started this talking about, is everyone on the show Mormon? Because are they supposed to have boring missionary sex? Are they not supposed to have oral sex and give fellatio?
No.
Everyone's biggest complaint is like, you suck dick.
Other way around.
They're supposed to have the wildest.
So there's
sex.
like weird rumors of like alleged like how Mormons have sex. If you're like very stringent, like they've talked about on the show before, but I'm fixated on Mormon culture.
Okay.
Because I have Mormon relatives. They are not associated with the things I'm about to say. I don't know anything about their personal lives. So basically, I'll say penetration in the vagina.
Okay.
That's sex to them. Point blank. Anal sex
so
is a way around.
Fun.
They have a sex where they like do things like they fucking armpits and stuff like that. Anything to give that sensation. And it's called something.
Why is it everyone's biggest insult to say that you suck dick? We talked about that on 2 episodes now. I'm like, so the reason I bring it up is because Bronwyn's like, at least I'm enjoying my own husband.
Loved that whole argument, and I think Bronwyn won that argument hands down.
You know what I think was funny? All of
that people around like.
They're like, what? And I'm sure I love when they would prime them and was like,
I thought it was funny when they would occasionally, they would say like sucking dick, and they pan to Amy like turning her head. I thought that was like pure comedy to me. I'm like, this is Poor Amy's house.
I like seeing all the guys in that side room talking.
Oh, I know.
And when Jared is trying to explain whether or not he even loves Brittany. But did we see Brittany? Or she didn't speak at all?
A little. Yeah, she was there. Yeah. I don't think she spoke much.
And he's like, I mean, I do love her. I have great love for her. And they're just like, do you?
So have you ever heard of gout dick? Because I sure did not. That was the first time I ever heard that.
I know what gout she was saying until Heather's test confessional where she mentions it. Because I was so distracted by Bronwyn's outfit. I was just like, these crazy.
That's like her thing.
Victoria's Secret. Yeah. So where's she from? Well, I know she said she went to BYU, which is Brigham Young University.
I can't remember where she's originally from because she moved, I think, to Utah from somewhere else. I can't remember because she was like an early single mom. Like she had her kid young. She showed the picture. So she has a really interesting story. I don't remember where she's originally from.
And then another sidebar question: is everyone in Utah Mormon?
No.
Because they mention it so much, I'm like, is this like the state religion?
I think I'm trying to think of like an appropriate comparison. It's the most common, like when you go to certain parts of like different neighborhoods, it's like you have different
Southern Baptist. And
so it's like that. I think is associated with Utah, but by no means I don't. I know people who live in Utah that aren't Mormon
because they're talking about this, and I'm just
like Meredith's Jewish.
I'm like, if I lived there. And I was Mormon, would I be offended by watching this? Or would I be like, yep, that tracks, that's how we are?
Probably, if you're talking like that, yeah. They don't, like, Mormons don't swear either.
Do Mormons watch cable TV?
Yeah, they're not Amish.
You don't know, who knows?
They believe in technology, but...
I don't know, I was just like, do they not enjoy sex? And so that's why it's a very dismissive thing to say you give...
You definitely don't have sex before marriage in Mormon, right? So that's, which I think is synonymous to most religious doctrine. But as I mentioned, they have a lot of weird ways around it that I find really like, you're having sex. I don't know the whole like suck dick thing. I thought it was actually really funny. And I'm assuming Lisa was trying to like have a comeback and that's what she said. And that
Lisa lost. She
got dragged. And you know how I can tell is I read people's body language. And I've met people like this when you're like having an argument and the person just starts kind of laughing, like, you don't know, like, whatever. And you start saying things like, go to college, you don't know anything. That is not a solid argument for anything you're going to win. That tells me you have nothing else up your sleeve, so you have to throw fucking something at you.
She was literally trying to just, like, be dismissive about it.
Very dismissive. Like, go to college.
Didn't even go to law school. Yeah. I'm sure you didn't go to college. We're just like, what does that have to do with this?
Bronwyn's comebacks were just so good.
She was so good.
She was pure
like,
magic.
Who's paying your Amex? And I was like, okay, so what is that conversation like between Lisa and her husband, John? But I'm sure he knew they were paying the Amex, or she's got this credit card on her own. And I was just like, there are so many layers here of betrayal and lying, and maybe even just like your personal life coming out.
I've always gotten the impression from him throughout all 6 years that he's a doormat, kind of like he offers nothing much to me, in my opinion. I'm sure he's a lovely man.
He's handsome.
I would have sex with him if he offered, like, whatever.
Can Mormons do that?
Probably not. They're not. I would say like traditional like white Caucasian Mormons are not really pro LGBTQ plus. Lisa is. That's why she probably says, I'll give her that. She's very, celebrates all backgrounds and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if he truly didn't know. I could see that. I don't know if it's ignorance. I don't know, but I think he was, because she has other business ventures. So I think he was running the tequila business, and she was. I can't remember what she does.
They have an alcohol business? I thought they weren't supposed to drink.
Hence why she's Mormon 2.0.
Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. Thank you for overanalyzing. We will definitely be back to watch episode 3.
I cannot wait. Well, I will tell you this. The clips I've seen in episode 3, we see Amy.
I want to meet this person, Jen Shaw. Is she the one that's in prison?
In federal prison, yeah. For scamming old people.
Maybe next season.
I'll tell you this. At a Watch What Happens Live, in commercial taping, Andy Cohen sometimes does like Q&A, like from the audience, like, hey, and someone asked him, will we ever see Jen Shaw back? And he's like, I never want to see her again. And rightfully so. I'm like, there's a line. Like, you get a DUI, okay, like you can maybe have a comeback arc. Her, you don't get a comeback arc. Not on reality TV with thousands of dollars worth of paychecks.
We'll have to watch some of the episodes and discuss them.
I want you to. Well, now, like, if you get into it, if you already sound kind of into it, I feel like there's a lore there that I'll probably put certain pieces together for
it's
you.
Fascinating.
Especially some of the OG women. You're like,
yeah,
okay, I see you.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for
No,
this.
thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. So,
talk to you guys later.
And next week we'll talk about the taglines. Those got dropped, so I can't wait.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, friends.
This episode almost didn't
happen because someone ate too much spinach, apparently.